I think that for any hypothesis, a referendum is the only way to wash away this mess Michel Temer's government is creating.
Rousseff was suspended in May when the Senate voted to put her on trial for allegedly breaking budget laws. The interim government, headed by Brazil's Vice President Michel Temer, is against the idea of early elections. Earlier, Brazilians took to the streets in several cities, including Rio de Janeiro, to voice their anger at the policies of the interim government.
Suspending Rousseff was really a wrong thing to do. It was a coup against her, and we're here to protest so that the rule of law returns, and we're fighting for our democracy, for social rights which are being beaten by the government.
If Rousseff survives the Senate trial, which is expected to conclude in August, the Constitution would provide for her to serve out her term until 2018. The latest poll suggests that nearly two-thirds of Brazilians support Rousseff's impeachment. Crossing over to Washington, D.C., joined by Robert Valencia, political commentator. Thank you so much for being with us. Mr. Valencia, tell me this latest situation that's taking place in Brazil. Is it likely to happen that actually Rousseff can get back being president and then go for a referendum? How do you see this?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to your show. According to some accounts in Brazil, even some senators are saying that the chances of having Dilma Rousseff removed from office is diminishing. We have seen massive protests across the country, including Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. People are protesting the fact that Dilma Rousseff could be impeached. And actually, the current president, if you call it, Michel Temer, is not as popular as you would think he is. He only has an 11% approval from Brazilians. They're not happy with him being in power, and there's a particular reason why this is happening. Because even though Dilma Rousseff is accused of corruption, if you look at the chain of command in Brazil, they are not escaping from any corruption scandals, including the vice president himself. And people who are in Congress are also accused of corruption. So, in my opinion, getting Dilma Rousseff removed from office will really not solve an institutional crisis in that country. Corruption is ubiquitous everywhere in the country, and that needs to be resolved. Removing President Dilma will not resolve the problem, and that is not, and I think, in my opinion, is taking away the attention. The real reason why Dilma Rousseff is facing impeachment is because Brazil is going through a really difficult economic hardship, and unemployment rates are skyrocketing. That is the main reason why Dilma Rousseff is facing impeachment. If Brazil went back to its old glorious days when they were having economic growth and was keeping poverty levels to a minimum, then we would not be facing, we would not be seeing impeachment, petitions or anything like that.
How much of this do you think, though, Mr. Valencia, is homegrown, and how much of this is pressure on Rousseff is coming from other entities, many pointing to the United States? And in general, what we're seeing in a move in Latin America and several countries is actually basically trying to turn back around a lot of the progress that had been made in some of these countries.
I could not say for sure whether the United States has any kind of involvement with anything that is happening in Brazil or the rest of the Latin American countries. I mean, if you look at the case of Venezuela, it's actually the Organization of American States that has taken a stronger stance against the Maduro administration. And the same goes in Argentina, when you have a U.S. friendlier government on the helm of Mr. Macri. What we're seeing here in Brazil is that people don't know exactly if they want to impeach Dilma Rousseff. If you look at, the time where Congress was deciding whether Dilma Rousseff should be impeached or not, all the senators, all the representatives that took the microphone, they said, I'm casting my vote on behalf of my grandmother. I'm casting my vote on behalf of my daughter's birthday. They cited completely preposterous reasons for their vote. So there's really not a real reason. They haven't provided a real reason why they should vote. A lot of the cases that we're seeing in Brazil is that we see this as bargaining chips. What do I mean by this? A lot of senators are casting their votes expecting something in return. They say, I will cast my vote against Dilma Rousseff, but you have to provide me something. So unfortunately, I'm not sure if this is being taken seriously. And again, I cite, other, even personal reasons why they want to impeach Dilma Rousseff, but not the reasons that she should be impeached for.
Okay.
I feel that this is more political theater
All
other
right.
than
I'm so
anything
sorry.
else.
We're out of time. I appreciate you being with us out of Washington, D.C. Mr. Robert Valencia, political commentator.